Okay, so I just got a text from another college coach, and they want to know, did Kent wrestle their starters tonight? And there were a lot of backups.
A lot of backups.
Why did you design it like this?
Didn't design it. We have 2 guys out because of COVID or contact tracing.
Okay.
We have 1 guy out because he had a herpes breakout, and we have another guy out that I just didn't think McNally wrestling was the best
So
thing to do.
McNally's not it was just not putting him out.
I knew back 2 weeks ago McNally wasn't going to wrestle here. McNally's way better than these kids. I didn't think this would, sometimes McNally does all the right things. He knows what his goals are, and I didn't think this was part of his goals.
Gannon pushed you pretty good, though.
Yeah, they're
good. They're tough.
We weren't very good in some weight classes, and it showed. And when you got guys out, it shows even more. So yeah, they wrestled hard.
And they had you on the ropes going into 97 heavyweight, and you win both the weights, though.
Yeah, we won
You won the duel.
No, I know we won the duel, but they won like the first 4 out of 5 matches.
Yeah, they did.
Right?
They were up big on you, actually.
Yeah.
And then, so, not putting McNally out there, that's probably smart, even though it's a short season.
Yeah, at some point, winning against guys like this isn't part of his goals, and he's earned the right to be able to sit down with me and have a conversation. Is this the best thing for him? So,
I guess my question is, I know this is a way different year with the rankings, the RPI. Does this do you any good?
No, but when you have I've got
As a win percentage, does this do you good?
It does this no good at all.
That's my point. Like when I was like, why is Jim scheduling this? Because it's ranked, it's D1 opponents.
100%. We have
Still.
7 new guys in our lineup. New guys, never been in our lineup before, never started. They have to learn how to wrestle. Like we got some guys that just need to learn how to wrestle. So it's very apparent that we're young. I think we have like 5 or 6 freshmen. It's apparent we're young. It's apparent we struggle in certain situations. So these are the matches that hopefully you can learn. And we had some guys that, didn't do very well today. So ultimately, I knew that we had some guys not going to be in the lineup a few days ago. And I think it's about learning. This year's all about learning. We have guys that are able to wrestle, so we put them out on the mat and we said, let's wrestle. So, and our backups some of our backups wrestle pretty well. It's just, like I said, we're young and we're struggling in some situations right now.
At 133, you have a really tough decision to make. I know that there's a guy that wins in the wrestling room, but then there's a guy that wins out in competition. How will that all shake out? Will that come down to, we're going to look at who beat who beat who in opposite colored singlets?
Yeah. How
does that work at 133? You got 2 guys that would probably qualify for instance.
Well, we got one guy that's Fenton's one of the guys that's out right now with.
Okay.
He's out because of contact tracing.
Oh,
so
okay.
He's fine. He's just out because of contact tracing. So he couldn't wrestle today. So there was no decision. At some point, we're going to have to make a decision. I was hoping to be able to see both of them wrestle this coming weekend when we're wrestling 3 Division I schools, which, Fenton's now out. So that gives us one more opportunity to see them both wrestle. And when we wrestle Edinboro and Northern Illinois, and some backups there. So I'll take this all the way and make a decision after that if I have to in my last duel. I'm not worried about that. Ultimately, you're looking for the guy that can come out and do it when it counts and not in the wrestling room, ultimately.
So you could have a guy lose all the wrestle-offs, but he beats ranked guys, and he's a guy that can qualify, and you'll send the guy who's going to qualify.
I'm going to send the guy who can come out and compete when it matters. And like at the end of the day, this mattered. This mattered for at least at the end of the day, my record. And we had some guys that just didn't compete very well. So at the end of the day, I want guys that can come out and compete.
Fenton beats Patrick. Gold doesn't beat Patrick. You know what I'm talking about at 133, right?
Yeah.
So one guy can beat guys that the other guy, one guy might be too funky or he hasn't figured out his craziness.
He's 5-0 right now, too, I believe. So
yeah, you get my point, right?
I get it. It's something that I don't know, talking on a video is the best place to talk about. At some point, we're going to meet Danny to sit down and make a decision on what's best for the program.
That's what's tough.
Yeah, it is.
It's really tough. And there's a lot more that goes into it than anything you could probably even tell me.
Yeah, there's a lot goes into it.
You got to really think on that one.
Yep.
End of the day, at 174, I think you can have a guy who can challenge and be there at 174.
Yep.
Not wrestling him tonight, holding him out. You talked about that's not in the goals. Why even schedule this when you got a guy like that who you need to get better? Why even schedule this just because the young guys need experience? Is that what, ultimately 100%.
Why? Like I said, we've got a lot of young kids, a lot of young guys that haven't been in a starting lineup. McNally, he's wrestling really well in the wrestling room. He wrestles really well in the matches we've had so far. So we knew that when I scheduled this, I knew that we've got guys that need to get better. Hell, every time Jake Ferry goes out on that mat, he gets better. And this is it was an important day for him. He went out and just beat 2 guys that that I don't think 2 years ago he would have beat like he did. So he's getting better. And when I walked up to the mat, I said, you're getting better every time you wrestle, and that's what's important right now for him.
That's a guy that should be in St. Louis, though.
I hope so. Like I said, last year his RPI ranking was really high. I know that if
you already beat the WVU guy,
yep.
and you only got to beat 2 or 3 guys right now.
Yep, you hope so.
You don't have to beat 5 or 6.
Yeah, I think at some point it's probably going to come down to how you do in your conference as well, I would think. But yeah, I think between last year and this year, he's proven that he could wrestle at the national tournament. Just like no one really knows what the formula is and how we're going to qualify as guys yet. So we got to wait and see how that unfolds too.
What a mess. All right, you have anything else for me?
No, like I said, I think that people don't understand. And like I said, we wrestled on Saturday. We wrestle again on Saturday. So we're wrestling in the middle of the week. This was, but we have a lot of young guys that just need to learn how to come out and compete on a regular basis. In a regular season, you could wrestle 2 matches on a Friday and come back and wrestle on a Sunday, and it's a normal thing. So I know this year's unusual, but you still have to be able to wrestle. And the hard thing is MAC tournament where you can wrestle 6 matches in 2 days. We don't do that at all. Normally you do that at open tournaments. Usually we go to a 2-day event. We're not doing that. If you go to a national tournament, you're going to have to wrestle up to 6 matches in
3
days,
wins.
which is tough. All of a sudden your body's and if your guys aren't used to it. So we're trying to do as much as we can to get our guys ready to wrestle, the ones that can qualify to wrestle, and the other ones who aren't going to qualify, hopefully they're going to get better from experiences like this. So next year when they are in the lineup and everything is hopefully back to normal, that will improve at certain weight classes.
All right, Jim. Thanks for the time.
One of the things all these guys are coming back next year. So everybody we see, we aren't losing one guy, which I'm really happy with. They've all made a decision. I've got 5 kids going to grad school next year that are some in the starting lineup. So hopefully we'll keep most of the ones we're going to keep for 2 years. We're going to keep for 2 years. And McNally's the only senior on our team next year. So we'll improve. We're just young right now. We're really young.
All right, Jim. Thanks for the time. Where are you guys next?
We go to Clarion. We wrestle Central Michigan first, SIUE second, and then Clarion third.
You get 3 matches Saturday.
3 matches Saturday. Yep.
That's going to be a grind.
It's guys.
That's a good simulation for the MAC tournament, let's say.
Yes, it is. It's close.
All right,
it's
Coach.
close. So
good luck.
I appreciate it. Thanks.